With a max Exosuit slot count of 180 over technology and cargo inventories, it can take a while to unlock them all. So I've worked out the best ways in No Man's Sky to max your Exosuit inventory fast and efficiently. The first method is the most well known, but being prepared will make this even quicker. This is to use the Exosuit upgrade terminals in both space stations and the Anomaly to buy slots. If you are a new player to No Man's Sky, you could have as many as 146 slots to unlock for both the inventories, as you start with 10 technology slots and 24 cargo. Fortunately, this doesn't mean you need to travel to 146 different systems to unlock every slot. We can halve that by also using the terminal in the Anomaly. Then you have to take into account the cost of buying all these slots, as each slot costs more than the previous, but this is capped. By slot 22 for technology, the costs will be capped at 125,000 units per slot, and for cargo it is capped at 200,000 units from the 58th slot. Technology maxes out at 60 slots, while cargo maxes out at 120. This all sounds expensive, but the total upgrade cost for all slots is just under 21 million units, so less than a decent ship. As far as preparations go, we need to get the 21 million units to buy them. We also need the ability to warp and access the Anomaly. For aiding in our warping, we will get some hyperdrive upgrades, as it is very easy to get a high level of technology, it's just the best that takes forever. We'll also need warp fuel. Lastly, we'll be getting an economy scanner, so we have the option to choose high economy systems for future use via the teleporter list. Here are the numbers: 21 million units, 3 S-Class hyperdrive upgrades, 14 warp cells and an economy scanner. The first step is actually the economy scanner, as the best money-making method at this stage is scrapping ships. We'll want to be able to find trading posts to get navigation data to buy maps to find ships. Sounds a little convoluted, but the economy scanner is a very good technology anyway, so worth grabbing early. You can buy the blueprint on the Anomaly from Hyperion in the back. You'll need 300 nanites if you don't have the teleport receiver also, or half that if you do. Talk to Ares, he's likely to have a few hundred nanites for you for your milestones so far. For the cash, if you don't have an established way already, let's go ship scrapping. When you scrap a ship, you get 60% of its value back as vendor items, as well as a few technology modules related to the class of the ship you scrapped, as well as a type. So this will sort both our unit and nanite needs. First, use your new economy scanner to search for a trading post via the quick menu. Head to the trading post and check the trade terminal stock. If it sells navigation data, buy them, and then build a base computer with the teleporter and power source. This will give you a very easy place to teleport back to whenever you need navigation data to buy charts. Keep scanning for new trading posts until you find one selling the nav data. Once you have some, head back to the station and chat to the cartographer. You want the distress signal maps. This is the option with the white swirl over red. Buy 16 minus however many ships you have. As I did this on a new save with only one ship, I bought 15. Though remember, if you do this again and hunt for ships in the same system, you'll only need 12 minus any ships you have, as we'll already have the other waypoints the charts can show you active, blocking the wasting of further charts. With the charts in hand, go to the nicest planet you've seen, get inside the atmosphere, just above the ground is good, and use the charts until they give you 5 different waypoints. These will be Observatory, Abandoned Building, Crash Freighter, and 2 Distress Beacons. The only one we want is one of the distress beacons, so don't go to the others. These charts will not give you another of the same waypoint you already have, but they also work by giving a random one on use. So if you already have the one it tries to give, it'll just fail and not use a chart. So if it's not using it before you have all 5, just keep trying. Short of being in a system with only no atmosphere or exotic planets, it'll work eventually. Head to one of the distress beacons, but don't land right away. Hover over it and see if there's an NPC walking around. If there is, don't land and instead focus that waypoint so it glows blue. This is to mark it as one not to go to. If there's no NPC, then look around for the other and mark it. Land at the one without an NPC and claim the ship for free. If you want to play entirely by the rules, make sure you turn up with 11 dihydrogen jelly, 11 metal plating, 550 pure ferrite and 11 hermetic seals. This is so you can fix the pulse engine and launch thrusters. If you want to be a rebel and make use of a bug, don't bother fixing them. Then get back into your original ship and use another of the charts and head to the non-glowing distress beacon it gives you, to repeat the process until you run out of charts, giving you up to 11 ships to scrap. Of course, if there is a ship you wish to keep, like me, who found this exotic S-Class ship, then don't scrap that one. If you are a rebel, then head to the Anomaly, if not, then straight to the space station to start scrapping. Rebels will need to jump into the Anomaly and switch their starship to each of the new broken ships. Switching to them in the Anomaly will auto-fix the pulse and launch thrusters. Rebels can then teleport to a station. In the station, simply switch to each ship and scrap it at the terminal in the back. Just be sure you aren't scrapping your main ship or any you wish to keep. Doing this for a single round should give you somewhere close to 21 million. Not including my S-Class, I got 18.5 mil and 5.3k nanites. Including the S-Class, it was 28.1 million units and 6.8k nanites. The whole thing took about 40 minutes. Now you need to buy 3 S-Class hyperdrive upgrades. Not every station will have S-Class hyperdrive upgrades. At this point in the game, you have been to at least 3 systems, so you should teleport between them to check for those upgrades. Worst comes to it, you could buy A-Class hyperdrive upgrades and use them until you get 3 of them with the warp cell efficiency stat. To get more than one, you can simply save and reload in your ship, and the stock will replenish. Lastly, you'll need up to 14 warp cells. This is enough for 70 warps if you have 3 upgrades with a warp cell efficiency stat. Now you're ready to start getting your slots. Simply warp to new systems, fly into the station, purchase an Exosuit inventory slot, then leave and summon the Anomaly. Run up to Selene in the back and purchase a second slot, then repeat. Don't forget the systems you've already been to, they should be in your teleporter list. You can make things even more efficient too, if in each station you visit the mission giver and pick up missions that can be completed together later on, such as destroying sentinels. For these, if you have more than one, they will all register the kills at the same time. Even if you have 80 destroy sentinel missions from standard space stations, ranging from 8 to 12 kills, just kill 12 sentinels and you'll complete all of them. There are 3 main mission types that work like this: destroy sentinels, kill creatures, and feed creatures. So gathering every mission of these 3 types you see will gain you serious rewards and reputation gains later on. Also note that the reward for these missions can be an Exosuit expansion unit, so when you pick up one with that as the reward, note it down and take off a system to warp to for every 2. You can then quickly complete the missions in bulk afterward and get a few free slots. Another way to make things more efficient would be if you are building a starship, as each station will have a different role of the bonuses and slot layouts for each combination of the ship parts and class. You could check in each station to see if you find one with, say, a cube of supercharged slots. You could also talk to the moving NPCs in the station to learn new words, or even earn money trading, though looking for the next system with both the correct economy type on top of the economy strength will likely take far more time than the profits are worth. The next method is far more simple, yet also more restricted. This is using the time-limited expeditions. Starting a new expedition on your existing save can be super profitable. By completing the expedition without using the inventory slot it offers as rewards in that expedition subsave, you can bring them back to your main save after completion to use there. Each expedition usually gives anywhere from 3 to 30 of these slots throughout its rewards, as well as some for ship, multi-tool, and even freighter slots. Though as you can only complete each expedition a single time per save, it is not endless, but more of a long-term method. With the Redux season upon us, however, you could unlock quite a few slots. In a somewhat recent update when space stations were reformed, a new feature was added to the Guild Envoys. You can donate items for reputation, as well as receive free gifts. One of those potential free gifts is an Exosuit expansion unit. This method is potentially exploitive, but you also need quite high reputation to unlock the gift in the first place, so not particularly useful for new players. The exploitive part is that the gifts on offer such as this, which are capped at 1 per trip, will reset their stock on reloading. So you can simply grab the free gift, make a save, reload it, then grab another and repeat that. Honestly, the time it would take as well as the time to get the reputation, it's not faster than the other methods, but felt worth mentioning. Our last method is using drop pods to unlock the slots. This in time and effort is similar to the first method of buying them, making both methods quite good for swapping between them. As the first method goes up in cost with each slot, you may wish to do some of that first, then change things with drop pods. There are 2 particularly good ways of finding drop pods. The first is to get yourself an exocraft. This would need to be either a Roamer, Nomad, Colossus or Pilgrim, then install the radar amplifier upgrade. This will allow you to scan for drop pods via the quick menu when in the exocraft. As you'll need the exocraft at each spot, I would suggest either having a freighter you can summon to the system with an exocraft orbital materializer room, allowing you to summon your existing exocrafts anywhere in the system, or building an exocraft summoning station. My preferred method is to instead use the exocraft upgrade charts. These can be purchased from a cartographer on a space station for 3 navigation data. To unlock every slot, you'll need 145 Exocraft upgrade charts, which will cost 435 navigation data. I took one slot off the total as the first cargo slot is free from a station's terminal. Fortunately, as they're so cheap, that's only around 500,000 units. You will, however, also need launch fuel for constantly flying to these locations, of which I'd recommend farming up a bunch of uranium, as it's better than launch fuel, as well as installing a launch auto charger. And lastly, you'll need a few cheap materials to unlock the drop pods, which are 10 sodium nitrate, 1 carbon nanotube, and 1 antimatter housing. As base resources for all 145 slots, this is 1450 sodium nitrate, 7250 carbon, 4350 oxygen, and 7250 ferrite dust. Gathering everything beforehand minus a chart due to the restocking feature of the navigation data by them will provide you the best time efficiency. You may think due to the resource cost that this is not anywhere near as good as the first option, and you aren't really wrong, but you can do something else at these drop pods. This something else involves some story spoilers regarding a secret race. I'm warning as many new players may watch this video, so skip to the time on screen to avoid that. If you have unlocked the autophage, then each drop pod doubles as an autophage camp, where you can also farm void modes. Talking to the autophage NPCs will allow you to take on missions, many of which, like the space station missions, can be stacked for completion. If you are doing this, I would recommend having a bunch of ship scrap vendor trash in your inventory, as one of their mission types is to collect these items, allowing you to hand them in immediately. If you are currently trying to build an epic S-class staff weapon with great supercharged slots, you can also try your staff part combinations at these camps. My conclusion after all of this is that most of these are valid, but dependent on your playstyle and game progress, some may be better than others. The first option of buying from stations and the Anomaly is by far the cleanest. It requires little preparation and can be done at whatever pace you choose. Coupling missions and more with this will bring great rewards and the freedom of a speedy unlocked inventory. Doing expeditions as they arrive can be an addition to the first and fourth methods. Expeditions can be a really great change of pace and just fun in their own right. Being able to bring back resources from these to benefit the primary save is a great touch. If you are far enough with the right reputation, stopping off at the guild envoy to grab a free exosuit augment every so often is also a great choice, and if you don't mind skating the rules, you can just reload 100 or so times to get them easily. And lastly, if you are far enough in the game to know that secret race, you can mix that in with the drop pod method. I hope you found this helpful. More on the way. If you have any questions, stick them below. Other viewers and myself likely have the answer. Peace.